Hey everyone, welcome back to Bros and Shows. I am your host, Josiah, aka Mauler67. And with me, as always, I got my buddy. I got my pal. I got my brother Austin. Austin, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing okay. Kind of a crazy weekend a little bit. But nothing too bad. Played I got there's a lot. This weekend was normally a LARP weekend for me. However, I made plans with a couple of my friends instead to go play Magic at a bar that they like. So we met up on Friday, which, with the great freeze happening now in the great Northeast, my car is able to be driven again. And I was like, yay, I can drive. Because for the last week after they plowed everything, the roads were clear enough for me to drive. But my car was encased in snow because I don't own a shovel to dig it out. And my car, literally, I tried to back up, it would just get caught, stopped. And then I would go forward, then go back, forward. Tried it multiple times, it didn't work. Luckily enough, on Thursday night, I finally got it out. And I was like, yes, thank goodness. And I celebrated by going to the post office. And then got back and then parked in a different spot so I don't have to deal with the freaking snow anymore. So that's good. I also got a car garage door thing finally from my work, from my apartment complex, so I can now park in the garage. I'm just waiting to hear back about if the spot I want is free or not, or if, because she gave me a bunch of spots I could choose, but she I never saw any of the stuff, so I wanted to check it first, and she's like, all right, just email me back with this stuff, and if it's available, we'll give it to you. If not, I'll let you know, and then you can select a different spot. I'm like, all right, cool, solid. So I'm able to park in the garage now. I just have to wait to find out which parking spot is mine. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty great. And then on Saturday, me and my friends, we all went out to Guy on the Couch, which is the card shop near us. Or not really near us, but it's in Pittsburgh. Was there for a couple hours, just looking through all their singles and bulk and everything. I bought a large amount of cards. And then we went to the bar that they're friends with. It's a local gay bar, is what they it's where Mike and Chip met, I think. And we played a couple games there. It was honestly I think it's funny growing up in the Mideast, and specifically in an area very Christianized, right? When we got told about gay bars or those type of areas, we've been educated with the Bible thumperness to think that there's some type of it's different, it's not a bar type deal thing. It's literally a bar. It's just a bar. I walked in there and I was like, this looks like a biker's bar. I don't know, it's whatever. But we played a couple games there, and then after we were done, I went home and we played some more Magic games online. But it was pretty fun. Not bad. We basically just played the four people who normally play there. It was just a different location, which we got to have I got a rum and coke, and everyone else got their own stuff. So it was kind of cool to play Magic and have I don't know, I forget what a mixed drink I guess is what it would be called there. I don't know what rum and coke is considered. But it was fun. It was good. They got to meet my friend Kennedy from LARP, who showed up and gave me a bag of Magic because he's like, I'm getting rid of all my Magic. I don't want it no more. So he gave me multiple decks of Commander that he's like, I no longer have. And one of the Commanders he gave me, he runs a lot of proxies. I think, Austin, you would enjoy this commander. Because I have to pull it out of the sleeve because he bent it because he didn't care. But he gave me
Dads.
Dads.
Yeah.
But this is like the giant foil card that comes in the instruction.
I have the jumbo, yeah.
But like he's like, I have this card, and then he folded it up and put it in a sleeve, and I was like, bro, that's crazy. But he gave me a bunch of the cards of it, which actually kind of helped me build out my one Auburn deck, because he gave me a black-white night deck, and a lot of those cards went into my one thing. I was like, that's great, that's solid. Mixture, okay, it is a mixed drink. Okay. I assumed it was a mixed drink because I'm like, it's two things mixed together, but I don't drink really at all, so I have no idea. But yeah, that was basically my weekend, and then today I woke up and played a couple Magic with my roommate Terry. Terry's getting more into Magic. He bought a couple cards for his Spire deck. He's trying to learn how to make his Spire deck better. And I'm hoping by him playing that and then playing with us all whenever like you come to visit or whatnot, he'll want to explore and make more decks and play with us and everything. So who knows? Get more people, play together. I think it was fun whenever you guys were up here last time. But that was my week. Austin, what was your week? What did you do?
Well, really, I didn't do too much this week and weekend actually so far. I just been catching up on like really nothing actually. Just school. I've been working a lot. Been doing that. On top of that, just trying to get certain things done, get done things around the house. Since now, like since the snow has kind of like been melting away, I can finally like start doing stuff that I've been wanting to do outside. Did some stuff in the basement, and then I just been playing Balatro lately. Like the challenges of Balatro that I've been wanting to play, and then I've been playing what's it called? I'm trying to think what it was called. Oh, it's Fish Fear Me. It's like a roguelike game where it's kind of like Vampire Survivors meets well, it's pretty much Vampire Survivors, but it's with like fish.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like fishing. So it's a lot of fun. Playing that, just hanging out, playing guitar and stuff, because I have an open mic at the end of this month with a game store.
Which, speaking of that game store, I see that they're going to hold a convention.
Yeah, they are. They did that last year.
They did that last year? Oh, okay. I just saw that this year that they're doing it. And I was like, that's cool. And I floated the idea to all my friends out here. I'm like, hey, would you all be up for like driving to Ohio and go to this convention? It's a very small indie thing, but they'll have Magic and everything to play there. And I think it would be cool if we just showed up from Pittsburgh to support, and like it could be like a nice little weekend hangout.
Getaway.
Exactly.
Getaway.
Like, yeah, a couple of my friends, like a lot of them basically said like, yeah, that sounds interesting. We just have to know the date and whatnot. And I asked Jordan. Jordan's like, yeah, I mean, honestly, sure. I don't know if I want to go to Ohio, but I guess.
Oh, man, that's funny. Yeah, no, so there's an open mic. I'm going to do 3 songs because, like, that's what we're limited to on that. But it just depends on who shows up. So it's like, hey, you know, if no one else shows up, you can do more. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Are they going to stream it? I know they have streaming capabilities.
I don't know if they are or not. I never really asked about that. Just because, like, I this is the first time I've done, like, an official gig. Like, because I haven't like officially open mic. I've only like played guitar around like people I know, and then like song and stuff like that around like campfires and stuff.
Yeah.
I
get that.
Yeah. So like, you know, this would be something like a big step for me where I'm like, hey, you know, is it worth it? Like, is it really worth me like pursuing something like a hobby like this? Because a lot of times, like, I haven't been playing Magic a lot. Like the last time I played was with you. Yeah. And when we were out there, and then I was like, oh, okay. I've been really just busy. Like, you know, life's been pretty busy. I'm just trying to get college done. Like, I'm very close to it, and I'm just trying to get it done and over with, and then, you know, I can be happy with what I'm at. And then also too is work. Work has been crazy. Like, I just did a whole Friday. I was part of like active shooter training at school.
The fact that you have to do that is crazy.
Yeah, and it's just nuts. Like some of the policies and stuff that we have instilled into our school, like like that, is like, hey, this sucks. We don't want to talk about it, but it's a reality. Stuff like that. So been dealing with that. And then just really I've been, there's one thing I will say, and that is I've been trying really hard for the last couple of years to do something that I've always wanted to do, and I finally got the opportunity to do it, and I am so happy to do it. And that is, I got invited to the Fred Rogers camp, which is at the Fred Rogers Institute. It was kind of hard for a long time to get me to go out there, but I was like, I'm going this year. This is where I'm going. So I'll be coming out March 21st to the Fred Rogers Institute for a seminar. So I was like, that's kind of cool. Fred Rogers was always like he's a role model for me. That's how I like teach, and my compassion that I have is because of like the ways that he taught kids in his television show.
Yeah.
But
did you see that Lady Gaga recently did a cover of "Won't You Be My Neighbor"?
I've heard about it. I have not seen it.
I mean,
the thing is, I don't know.
Lady Gaga, and she's like classically trained, so it's a very classically trained style of it. It's good. I like Lady Gaga for her like pop music or whatever style that she does. Like, we had her in high school growing up and everything. It was a really good song. Like, it was very well done, very well produced. But she was basically saying, because she's like, this is words that I grew up and loved ever since I was little. So it's like, yep, a lot of people are with you there. There's a lot of like mean and evil people in our world for some reason who heard the same lyrics but never got the message, I guess.
That, and I've been watching like a lot of documentaries lately, and for some odd reason, I don't know why it is. I think it's just because I do like the history behind television a lot. And when I was growing up, like one of my main things that I watched, because I had an older brother, and then my older brother had like friends that were into it, and then I got into it, and then my friends were into it, and it was wrestling.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, yeah. So like lately, I've been watching documentaries about like wrestling, wrestlers, stuff like that. So like I just finished up. There was one that I've been wanting to watch for a while. Like I usually, anytime I see something that's like related to the wrestling era I grew up in, or the 80s, I'll watch it. Now today, no, not really, because like Dark Side of the Ring is one of my favorite TV shows, because it tells like stories of like terrible stories, or like, what happened to this wrestler, why is this wrestler not around anymore, this is why. It's like, like Doink the Clown, I was like, I didn't know what ever happened to Doink was just this goofy clown that was like,
okay, first
come to find out,
who the freak is Doink?
So Doink the Clown was in the 80s, like during Hulk Hogan area, and he had like this like weird green afro, and like he had a clown, and he would always come out, and it was like the slapstick comedy stuff, and it was always like him putting pies and stuff. Yeah. So like I watch Dark Side of the Ring has like a lot of cool stories about like, Chris Benoit. Like they did a whole deep dive, like 2-part series on like the Chris Benoit thing. And like, well, that's the thing. Like, I like knowledge, and I like to hear like what really happened with this. And then you come to find out all this. It's like a murder doc.
Well, I was about to say, I'm like, it sounds like the male version of true crime TV shows, where it's just like, I'm obsessed with true crime. It's like, men are too. They just like true crime when it has something to do with something they like. It's like, yo, you know that wrestler story? Let's talk about that. Like, oh man.
So there was a documentary that came out a long time ago, like right when I was in my wrestling peak, and it was called Beyond the Mat. And it was like these, it was like following Mick Foley through like, his Hell in a Cell match, and Terry Funk and Stone Cold and all them, and like ECW and how hardcore they were. But here's the thing, they followed one wrestler, and one wrestler was very depressing. Like, I didn't know anything about this wrestler. Like, I knew his gimmick, but I wasn't really a fan. And it was Jake the Snake Roberts. And I was like, okay, Jake the Snake. And he always had a snake. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, then like in Beyond the Mat, he was like this crack addicted, like he was like overweight. He was drinking. He was an alcoholic. It was just all this. So, you know, he was just like, he tore like his whole family apart because of it. And then I watched the Dark Side of the Ring episode about his dad, and his dad was a pro wrestler, and his dad was like a big piece of crap. Like that guy abused him and like did a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, and then like, so when he became a wrestler, it kind of like he self-destructed himself. Well, there's a documentary that I didn't know about until last week, which is called The Resurrection of Jake the Snake Roberts. And you probably remember this wrestler. So there was a wrestler that was very popular in WCW, and then he moved to the WWE later, and it was Diamond Dallas Page. Everyone knows him as DDP.
I know the name. I know the name. I don't know anything about it.
So he started his own health thing, and it's called DDP Yoga. And it's like, he started with Jake the Snake Roberts, and he was like, I want to help my friend here. So he got him clean, got him walking again, like got him to do stuff. And he finally like repaired all of his relationships with his kids, his ex-wife, and all that other stuff. And it was so cool, like seeing that. And then he helped Scott Hall, which everyone knows as Razor Ramon. He always had the toothpick, and he'd be like, hey, Jake, you know, he was going through the same thing. He was an alcoholic, overweight, and he couldn't walk. And so then, like, you know, he brought him to the house, and he's like, this is called the House of Accountability. Like, we support each other here. I think you guys are great, but we need to like realize that like our lives affects other people. But then he's also done like, I've like watched all of DDP stuff. Like, do you even remember the boxer Butterbean? He was like this big, bulky dude.
Yeah.
So about 2 years ago, Butterbean could not walk. Like, he could not physically walk. He was overweight. His back was so bad. So then DDP helped him to like lose the weight so that he could get a surgery so that he could get back into walking again. So like, he's been doing that for like athletes and wrestlers and stuff. So when they made this documentary, I was like, that, you know, it was so cool seeing that like someone that has gone so long where like, you know, they struggle, but like as a friend, they're like constantly like being there for him. Like, because Jake the Snake would go in and out of like, you know, drinking. Like, he'd be like, oh, I'm clean, brother. And then he'd go clean for 6 months. But then when DDP left the house to go on vacation with his wife, he would sneak out and go to the bar. And he was like, if it wasn't for him just constantly like being there for me, I don't think I would have ever changed. And I was like, that's good. I'm glad that like you have a bad life, but you can make it a good life. And helping people. Like, that's what I really liked about that. So that fell me down in a pit of like all these other documentaries, like The Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. I'm now watching Monday Night Wars, which is like WCW Nitro versus WWE Raw, like during that time, like how ratings were. And then the fall of WCW, which everyone knows about. But yeah, like I'm very interested in stuff like that because I just like the business oriented of it. And also it's like something that's like a childhood like comfort zone for me, like, because I'll never forget like wrestling all the time and like acting like Stone Cold Steve Austin when I shouldn't have acted like Stone Cold Steve Austin. But yeah, it's been like this great thing. So I've been watching these constantly, having a lot of fun just doing that. So that's what I've been really up to. But yeah, that's all I've been doing.
I can tell you've been really into it because you were able to sit here and give like long detail information about it. Sometimes when you're into something, you are able to like go into it in a way that it's like, okay, you link something to another thing. I appreciate that. I very much enjoy that. When you're doing something because you have to do something, sometimes you're just like, hey, this is how it is, and that's what it's about. That's what's going on. And it's like, no, you very much sound like you're enjoying that, and that sounds great, Austin. Glad to hear that. Cool, man. I mean, speaking about wrestlers going through some crap, Austin, let's talk about Harley Quinn. And now that doesn't make much sense. However, I don't know. I couldn't think of Bane, so I was like, is Bane a wrestler? He may be a wrestler. I always thought he was a wrestler as a kid growing up.
I don't know. I never really
I don't think he is. I think he's like a silent, like I think in the one Batman, he was a thug who just got the venom injected into him and became addicted to it. But like then they like change him and make him like smarter and smarter. So I'm like, okay, I guess it's not
With that
it's probably
crab
not
on your
set in
face.
stone. Yeah, and that one he's like smart, so it's like okay, like
The man with the crab on his
it
face.
is. Um,
I stabbed
so
you
yeah,
first.
Austin. What did you think of Harley Quinn season 2 when it came out?
I like how it's like, hey, Ellie, you think, but I made you watch this. But you know,
I know.
I will say this season has one of my favorite episodes, and I really enjoyed this season. This is probably the best season out of all of them that I've watched. Next to probably like maybe 3 and 2 are pretty close. I think that they, I feel,
you did that, so.
I know, like it's just like
joking.
they're on an evil. It's hard. Like I really like season 2 because the one episode that's really really good, and then there's like, and the episode I'm talking about is the Mr. Freeze episode.
Yeah.
I really thoroughly enjoyed that episode, and the ending to that episode is like, I'll never forget watching it.
Man. That's a heart wrencher,
dude. It's oh man, very well done.
I will say, I get the joke of it. I also get the implication and whatnot. But the idea that he does that, he's obsessed with her and everything, and then he dies to save her, and then like her on the girls' bachelorette party, and she starts like making out with everyone. I'm just like, that kind of makes you feel bad a little bit, because like he killed himself for her, and then she's at the same time she's been like, I don't know what she's been through and all that stuff, but she has lost the love of her life, so it's like she's moving on, but it kind of makes you feel bad because it's like he never moved on. He could just let her die and then move on. So that's a weird situation to say, but it was a very nice episode, regardless, which did make me a little upset because I kind of liked Mr. Freeze whenever he got introduced and everything. I'm like, why did they introduce him just to kill him off this season? That's kind of crazy. Meanwhile, they keep the Penguin like, well, I guess not. But they keep Two-Face around and everything. I'm like, freaking Freeze was a fun, like a good character. I enjoyed him a lot. Like Bane's funny, and I'm like, I'm cool with him being around because he's funny.
Do you know who played Mr. Freeze?
Yeah.
Alfred Molina? I don't know if you now you have seen
sound familiar.
So you know who he is. He is Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
I didn't know that.
Doc
he did a great job. I enjoyed.
Yeah, he did fantastic. I really enjoyed his Mr. Freeze.
I think I really enjoy Jim Rash as the Riddler. Anytime he starts talking, I instantly clue into him. Especially in the last episode at the wedding, when he's like talking, I'm just like, he just straight up sounds like the Dean from Community. Like that's just straight up the Dean doing his thing. Or it may hold on, I may have to think about it. He may not have been the Riddler, but it was definitely Jim Rash.
No, he is.
When
Jim Rash is the Riddler.
Oh, I know, but during that scene wherever like he was, I was looking away, but I heard his voice on it, so I went like, oh, that's the Riddler. I didn't look to see if it was the Riddler or if he was playing a voice for a different character. But I have to recheck that because I do like the Riddler in the TV show, especially with him like getting super ripped and active.
Lex Luthor's in this season, right?
Yeah, he was in the last season. Oh,
that's right.
Because he was the one who did the whole.
Lex?
Oh yeah.
I forgot. It's been like 2 weeks since we've done this because, like, you know.
Yeah, I know. Just life constantly comes at us. So that's why we kind of stopped caring about doing everything the second it comes out, because it's like we do this podcast less as a thing of like doing it constantly and everything, and more for us to be able to watch something and enjoy it. And then also for our mom, hey mom, to see our face, you know. So this is very much a good thing, and this was something like I explained to a couple of my friends recently that we do this podcast, and I'm thankful for the podcast, both the ability to just hang out with you and talk about stuff in a more like controlled manner, like this is what we're talking about. Because when we talk, we hang out, we have a tendency of like going off and doing or playing or doing whatever, and we may not ever talk about something. And this is a much more grounded, focused thing that we can talk about something that we both enjoy a lot. Yeah. So like I always enjoy this time, and I'm like, even if we take like a week off occasionally or something like that, I'm still excited to come back and do this, you know. But anyways, about Harley Quinn season 2, my biggest thing about this, I didn't think they were going to go the Harley Quinn Ivy love route so early. I thought it was going to be like a season 3 or 4, because this is like what, 5 seasons of a show?
4
seasons. Okay. That kind of shocked me. That kind of surprised me. I'm happy with it because it felt like it was kind of organic to a degree. Because they do the whole like surprise left field, oh my gosh, I can't believe we slept with each other kind of deal thing. And then they kind of like joke on that by like cutting again. They're like 6 or 7 times. Like it keeps happening, you know. It's almost like the same level of the like comedy sketch where it's just like, you've had 7 drinks, and it's just like, I don't know what key happened, and then he walks into the room and walks back out, he has another drink, and it's just like, where'd that drink come from? It's like, oh my god, where did it come from? You know, like that type of comedy. I love Ron as Shark King. He always makes me happy. He has such a cadence that just makes me like, I'll be honest, he does these skits on TikTok and everything where he'll do like, Ron talks about something, and he'll normally be like talking about a serious topic, be like kind about it, and then it'll always end with like a comedy hit. He has the voice cadence of someone who, if I would say this, like this would be my honest opinion, right? He could carry on Mr. Rogers' legacy if he wanted to. Because when I hear him talk, I feel as if he's a very kind, patient person talking. And I'm like, if he just like talked about a subject, talked about like caring for people, I would feel instantly endeared to listen to him 110%. Very much how I always felt like Mr. Roger when he talked. I felt like he was just a very knowledgeable, caring, loving guy who's like, let's all be there for each other. And I feel that way about Ron's voice and how Ron talks and everything. Which, side note, I don't know if you know this. You know he was on that TV show Traitors recently? Like this season he's on it. And he got basically assaulted and attacked. Like, not like physically, but like, because he was playing the game to play. And like they were editing things weirdly to make him seem like he was just sporadically yelling because the other contestants were saying personal things about him that they chose to cut because they're like, this has nothing to do with the game. And so it just made him look like he was being irrational. And people were like, why is they all being so mean to this guy who's just playing the game? And everyone's on his side. They're like, screw these other people. Ron's our king. Like, he's doing amazing. He doesn't deserve this. And I don't even watch Traitors. And I'm just like, over here, I'm just like, yeah, screw those people. I don't care about those people. Ron's great. And it makes you sad when you hear like some of that stuff, but yeah, no, I love Alan Tudyk. Also makes me really laugh, especially during the wedding scene when he just starts singing to Tim Burton with like the great Spanish opera. I don't know if that's actually Alan Tudyk singing or if they got like a stand-in singer double for him. But that was good. Like, I think the comedy was pretty on part. I think the story of the new Gotham, at first I was kind of like, oh, I'm not really interested in this, like, Armageddon thing. And then they're like, no, the superheroes carved out areas for themselves. And they basically control these areas. And so she has to go and basically take out each one slowly. I'm like, okay, I kind of like that, actually. Because it's kind of like this whole idea of like, hey, you know those supervillains that wouldn't let you join and you destroyed their little organization? They're still not going to let you join. They are just that way, so you have to do it yourself. So that was very enjoyable for me. I very much enjoyed this season. It was a great, solid season. I think it wasn't really said, but I think it was implied. You could tell me if I was wrong. But like, is Catwoman like an ex-lover of Ivy's? Because that's why I kind of get the vibe from whenever they talk about her, but it seems more like,
well,
like
that's
Ivy
what I'm
and
thinking it
Catwoman
is.
Ivy and Catwoman are like the equivalent of Gideon and Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim, where
Mhm.
Ramona is obsessed with Gideon, and she had to get away from him to stop being obsessed with him. And I feel like Ivy is obsessed with Catwoman. And I'm like, right now, it doesn't say anything about being like attracted to each other. It's more of like, she's just so cool, I wish I could be her type deal thing.
Mhm.
Which we've all had people like that, where it's like, hey, we'll literally
Yeah.
do unrational things just to be cool with this person. I know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true. No,
Yeah.
the other thing I want to bring up is you did get your answer for Joker.
Yeah.
What did you think? What did you think of that whole thing?
So I'm mixed. I wish they didn't resolve it in a single season. I wish that was a season 3 resolving thing. I do like the fact that they had to bring him back in order to find the book to bring back the Justice League. I'm glad they covered that, because that was something I pointed out last time when we were playing. I'm like, the Justice League is just kind of trapped in that book, right? They never resolved that, and you're like, yeah, they bring that up again. I'm like, oh, I didn't expect it. I think the one thing I like about the change in Joker, though, is after he turns back to his other self, he's like, I think I still love her. I think I want to try and make this work. And I'm going to be a better person than I was. And it's like this funny thing, is like, the Joker is actually going to become a suburban dad. Like, maybe the next time we see him, he'll be out grilling burgers or something like that. Like, I would love it if Joker is still like a villain. Like, he'll still do bad things, but in the end, he's just like, I'm not trying to do these big grandeur things. I'm still like, committing like I'm still robbing banks and things like that. But like, the second it affects my relationship with my girlfriend, I'm going to bow out. Like, I don't need to be a grand superhero anymore. I kind of have my kids and everything. Which I enjoyed. I thought it was cool. Yeah, no, I think this season was really good. I really liked the pit with Bane being a therapist and trying to be a therapist and everything. And it seemed like it was actually working really, really well until Ivy basically went up there and just started spouting existential dread like a hardcore guy. And yeah, it's crazy to me. I very much enjoyed basically all aspects about this. Though I did not enjoy the psycho dude this season, because he was kind of like a bad guy through the whole season.
Yeah.
He was just kind of played up that way. So I don't know if he's going to be on the team next season as like a reforming ally, or if he's going to be like out of the team for a bit. We'll see. We will see. Well, I will see. You've already seen it. Yeah. What else do you have anything in Harley that you particularly were like, I love this, or I cared a lot for that, or anything like that?
I kind of knew that like the Harley Ivy love thing was going to happen, but I was shocked like you, where it was like real soon. I was like, oh well, this is quick and abrupt. But I think this season, I think the things that shine the most, in my opinion, are just like the stories that can be told within the Harley Quinn context, because most season 1 was all about like Joker and Harley Quinn breaking away from Joker, and this is more of like her taking on like a role as like being a head villain, and then like like all of her like followers have like side stories in a way. And there's like, that's what I liked about this season more. It wasn't focused on one thing, and I thought it was great that they kind of like the problem that like a lot of shows have, especially when you're talking about like properties like DC. DC is really bad sometimes of not letting a show like develop on its own. They have to bring in something that they know that people will watch. Like take for instance, like I talked about all these animated movies back then, where they would put Batman in things, and you'd be like, why is Batman in this? And they're like, oh well, and I was like, Batman couldn't fight against ghosts. Like, I don't know what he's gonna do here. And they're like, well, people are going to watch it because Batman. And you're like, yeah, I see how it is. I feel like I was really happy with them with the Joker, I didn't want Joker to come back like instantly and be like, oh, I'm evil. I like the spin on him just being this. He's like, he's sane now. Like, he's like, I kind of messed up.
He's insane, but he's like, I have standards now, oddly enough.
Yeah, like he has standards. So like, that's the thing. Like, I thoroughly enjoy that they didn't just rely on the Joker for this, because the Joker is a huge character, and like, I like how they don't rely on Batman all the time. They don't rely on things. They rely on Harley Quinn and the characters around her, and that's what I liked about it. I like stories that are focused on minor characters a lot, and then like, Harley's no minor character. She's a major character, and Ivy is. But I do like that they brought King Shark in, Clayface, and they kind of hit on those different characters instead of just focusing right on Batman and Joker, because that's the problem that I have with a lot of like comic book stuff, where they focus on two big things and they always constantly, because like, that and there's always like that loophole, but they fix that in season 1 when everyone's like, well, Gotham's like, how like Gotham was broke up in all these different divisions. You're just like, well, if this didn't happen in season 1, then everyone would have asked that question, why don't the Justice League get involved? And they're like, oh, well, they're in the book still.
Like, the whole so Justice League literally got trapped in the book.
Yeah.
Also, so, like, I like the fact that it's like, well, why wouldn't the U.S. government go in there and just kill everyone, take over? And then they literally say it's just like, we're enacting this thing that basically says like it's no longer part of us, and we're leaving it to become a hellhole that it is, effectively, right? So what's great about that, what I like about that, is it's kind of taking a story arc from the Batman video games, and that is Arkham City. Arkham City was exactly what that was Arkham Asylum was getting to a point where they were escaping all the time. What if we made a city where they could live, prosper, but they couldn't like get outside of the walls, but they could do whatever they wanted? So like, that's kind of what that was to me when they did that. It reminded me of two things. It reminded me of a Marvel storyline, but it also reminded me of Arkham City, where it was like, oh, we're just going to put all these prisoners in Arkham City. They're going to be able to have like food, all this other stuff, but we are not going to contain them because they just want to get out. So we're going to put them in a city, and then they can fight over it. Because then what they do is they're like, oh, you're free. We have to serve in Arkham City. Well, what if I get killed? It's like,
it solves itself.
Baby. Figure it out.
Yeah, it solves itself. So that's kind of how I feel. But it also reminded me how the divisions were when I first saw that, and they're like, oh, this person has this territory. It reminded me of a Marvel comic that I loved. One of my favorite comics is called it's the Wolverine, but they call it The Last of the Wolverine, or The Death of Wolverine. And Logan, the movie, was the closest it's ever gotten to like being accurate. But in that comic book, all the villains win, and all the villains have all of America like in divisions. There's only one superhero that lives through, well, technically two. So you have Wolverine, and then you have the Hulk. But then the Hulk's completely just this crazy, mean guy. I don't know. He like ends up like,
he's a mean guy.
Yeah. But there's like parts where like, so Logan finds out that like he has to go get there's someone that has been working. It's kind of like Last of Us, where like the Fireflies have like this, they're trying to make this antivirus or whatever. So the storyline is Logan has to go find the person that's making super soldiers, because they found a way to like make Steve Rogers serum again. So they're like, hey, we can do this and fix America. So then he has to travel around the United States like looking for the serum. So like Red Skull owns like half of Washington DC, and the Hulk owns like north of like Georgia, South Carolina, Florida. He owns all that in Texas. And then like Doctor Doom owns like the West. And it's so cool like to see that with this. I was like, yeah, it's kind of like The Death of Wolverine. So I did enjoy season 2 a lot. I do like the story beats that happen in this. I will say this. I know that there's been a lot of like problems with like the newest season, supposedly. I haven't finished the newest season. I know that like a lot of people are like saying that it's probably not going to get renewed again because something happened with season 4. So we'll see. But I enjoyed season 2. I think it's great. and I'm glad that you're liking it. It's goofy, it's funny, and of course, King Shark is hilarious. Alan Tudyk as Clayface is great.
Also amazing.
I think they work together. There's an episode next season that Alan Tudyk and King Shark do together, and it is hilarious.
I think my one issue with this season is you mentioned how like everyone got their own thing. Clayface didn't get his own. So I'm sure he'll get one later. But like we got a King Shark episode where we got to see like him with like his father and everything. And then you learn like you have to get married. And then you also learn about his dark past as well.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, he ate his brother. And it's like, oh my gosh, like that's crazy.
Yeah. I didn't want to say anything if you knew anything about that.
You're going the way of Shark Boy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know if you knew that little hidden thing before you watched that episode, because I was going to say something like 2 weeks ago, but I was like, oh, well, yeah, King Shark's got like that hidden past where he eats his brother. And then I was like, don't say that because I don't know if he knows that. So glad.
No, I don't know anything about DC superheroes except for like very minute or very famous things, like the laughing joke and everything. Killing joke.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Classic great thing. No, like I said, I very much enjoyed this season. I'm excited for next season. It's such a great show to just have in the background and enjoy as you like play games or whatever. Like I've been playing a lot of Cult of the Lamb and Eugenics recently, and those games kind of are like they're roguelike, so they just kind of sit there and you have to keep going and build up and then go again, build up, go again, over and over again. And sometimes you just want something playing and hearing it and see it occasionally, look over, and this show is perfect for it because it's it's comedy that comes in, it catches you off guard, and you're like ha 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 ha, and then you continue doing what you're doing. And I very much enjoy it. I love it. So yeah, very much enjoyed the show. Can't wait for the next one. Austin, do you have anything you would like to say for the next part?
Not really. I think you will like season 3 a lot. There is a lot of different. They kind of go with season 2 where they start doing story arcs for individual characters sometimes, and you get to see like background stories and stuff like that. I think you really like that. I will say that there is an episode with King Shark and Clayface that involves an actor, like a real life actor. It is one of my favorite episodes of that season, and that's why like it's up there with like
I love it whenever they do stuff like that, where they're like, because there was a Actually show, like Actually, of course you do.
Yeah.
Drop out. And one of Actually, they did a thing of like, is this Marvel, is this DC, or is this a European music winner type deal thing? And they did Celine Dion as one. And the one person, I think it was Brandon, it was someone, I forget who it is. They put Celine Dion in Marvel. And they're like, no, that is a Eurovision winner. And he's like, that's not true. Deadpool references her in the show, means she's canonically a person in the Marvel universe. And they like did like a whole research, and it's like it's 100% true. Deadpool references her. Same with Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is referenced, and like all of like different people are referenced as actors in the series. Just like Kevin Bacon is a canon Marvel character, but like you never see them. And so they ultimately didn't give him the point because they're like, if Celine Dion has a wiki on the fan wiki, we'll consider it true. And she didn't have a fan wiki, and I was I'm like, no, she's canon. If they even mention someone by name, not even like one character or like two, it's by name, 110% their character. And it's the same thing with this, like, right, whenever I go watch this next week, whoever they mention by name is officially an MCU character, and I do not care if anyone fights me on that. Hi, Molly. Oh, side note, I got my cat a sumo cat, which is like a little toy that goes on your hand. It has like a long sleeve so she can't scratch it. She doesn't enjoy me putting it on and playing with her, but they injected so much catnip into that bad boy that she has just been like attacking it, rabbit kicking it nonstop on her own, and then like getting high and passing out on it for hours. And I'm just like, I think I need to take this away from you. It's just kind of crazy. And so like occasionally she'll like come to and she'll be like, oh yeah, I have an owner, and then she'll come up here and ask for switches. Yeah, right, woman. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. She smells like catnip right now. I need to take that one away. Oh, she's getting mad that I even mentioned that. But yeah. Oh, also, before we wrap up here, Austin, another 2 character I really like that they introduced, and I love how they introduce it. Batwoman, Gordon's daughter. I love the idea that she thwarts the Riddler one time, and then she was instantly like, oh yeah, this is the good stuff, and then she just becomes Batwoman. And I'm just like, that's great. I love that. It's like, it's not a, like, I'm going to do good. It's more like, I'm addicted to the rush of crime fighting, and she becomes like a super crime fighter. I like that a lot. Also, the whole episode with Batman, where he's like getting in the mecha suit and gets his legs broken. That was brutal when he gets his legs broken.
So that actually is a comic book nod from Kingdom Come, which is one of my favorite DC comic books, where it like takes place. It takes place, I think, like 60 years in the future, and what it's about is like Batman is so old that he has like this like neck brace that's like metal, and he has these mech suits that are all around Gotham, like policing Gotham. And he breaks his legs in the like, so when I saw that I was like, it's a Kingdom Come reference, I know it is. So yeah, it was pretty good. I remember now. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good thing. And then the whole Gordon, not Gordon, but who's the other? But the butler.
Oh, Alfred.
Alfred, thank you. I couldn't think of his name. How he has a superhero persona now, and he has that like stupid hat that does all the crazy things. I'm like, okay, yeah. I very much true. So it was all good. All right, Austin. I think that basically covers it for this episode of Bros and Shows. As always, I want to thank you for joining me, and I very much had fun. Thank you all so much out there for joining us. Thank you, Molly, for stopping by, and thank you all so much for tuning in.